Michelle. Hey, Robin. Hey, Becky. Hey, Corey. Uh-oh, we're gonna get Mary Pat
Oh
here in
yeah,
a
I'm
second.
here. I'm here. I'm getting my
Oh, I
video.
look tired. I don't actually feel tired, but I look a little tired. I think we're
There.
getting Dan in here. This is our big old celebration, the end of the year. Dan, are you alive?
I'm alive. I'm alive and well.
Did you hire somebody?
I'm alive and well.
I was talking with somebody at the YMCA the other day, and she was saying, "Yeah, it is just a fire hose." What? How did she
She
say?
said it feels like I'm drinking from a fire.
I'm drinking from a fire hose right now. I was like, I get it. It's like down to the count. Well, I don't. Yeah. I know other people will be joining us, but I think we should go ahead and I'm not even going to put the agenda up, but we could just introduce ourselves and just say something in this work that we're excited about. Um, uh, so I'm Lisa Graining with Turn the Page STL, and I was so thankful many of you showed up to our first biannual literacy forum, and I believe we will continue to do that twice a year. And I'm looking forward to hiring a third staff person to support the STL Tutoring Collaborative, which you guys will help me with. Um, all right, Michelle, what's going on with you?
Uh, Same old, same old. Just we're working on getting Lifeline to Literacy is going to host two small groups at St. Louis Public Schools down at Columbia Elementary. Thanks to Robin, we're going to do that in the after-school program, get them started in the Now program. So, see how that's going to work out.
That's great. So these are kids that Robin has pretty much can see have dyslexia. I'll make you come off next.
Yep.
Yep. That is wonderful. See, you guys, that's collaboration. Um, Robin, what are you up to?
The last week or so, I've been assessing kids. So the middle of the year assessments, just kind of checking in and seeing how they're doing. I really am not doing all of them. I'm doing two, just the words correct per minute, the oral reading fluency score. And I always like to check and see if their alphabet writing has improved because we spend some time on that because it helps with their automaticity when they're spelling.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I found out this morning that the 2025 third grade reading proficiency math scores are posted in Modesi. I will pull them together and send them out to you. Hey, they're not better. Um, and but are they the right
Measure.
assessment measure? Right. And so we continue to fight, I know, for using assessments in K, 1, 2 that inform instruction. And actually, yeah. But I will get that information out. Or all of you. I mean, it's public information. It's just they don't make it easy to find
Of course not.
because it's not good news. Becky, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Becky Biedenstein. I am the assistant director at Lowry's Place. So I'm working with Mary Pat, and we are, and you said what makes you happy about doing this, and it's seeing the kids finally progress and understand something that you have been working on for months.
The light bulb.
So
The light bulb. That's one. Becky, are you do you tutor the kids?
I am tutoring a few. I've kind of picked up a few. One of them is a little first grader, and she can speak English, but if you speak Spanish, she won't speak English to you. So Albert was trying to help her and it wasn't working. And when I started working with her, she's just like, yeah, I'm doing fine and good morning and all of this. But if he's around, she speaks Spanish.
Well, it's
So
easier.
yeah, yeah. So I started tutoring her. So I see her 3 mornings a week. So
That's wonderful.
yeah, so
That's wonderful.
yeah, it's very exciting.
Awesome. Mary Pat, so I'll just jump to you.
All right. Well, I'm glad to have Becky join us on this committee. So I'm glad she's here with us today. And yesterday, Becky and I went down and met with Becky Rogers' literacy seminar class and met some wonderful future educators. So thank you, Becky, for letting us come and talk to your students. And that was it was just wonderful to see young teachers, so enthusiastic, and it was great. So that was very nice.
That's
Partnership,
awesome.
partnerships are wonderful. And when you're doing the work and you're so busy, and when you're drinking out of a fire hose, you forget to take a breath and reach out to people because you're just so busy doing what you do. And it's wonderful when you just hit the pause button and say, okay, we're going on a field trip. And it was great. So
That is awesome. Becky, I want to know more about your literacy seminar or anything else you would like to say.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I agree. Hi, Mary Pat. Hi, Becky. It was great to see you yesterday. And this is our literacy clinic that's housed at Warner Elementary School in St. Louis Public Schools. And so we have an UMSL class that prepares teacher candidates to teach foundational reading and writing. And so this semester they're working with 15 first graders, and yesterday was our culminating day where the teacher candidates and their Triton reading buddy and writing buddy present a beautiful board, and it shares all of the examples of the books that they've read and the writing that they've done and the sight words that they know and the phonics patterns that they're fluent with, and they invite their first grade friends to view these boards. And I was reflecting this morning, I think what's really cool about their first grade friends visiting their beautiful boards in this room that's set up in a very celebratory manner is it positions the most vulnerable and marginalized readers in the classroom as having lots of strengths and being presenters and being leaders in literacy, and it just really flips the script, I think, in their classmates' mind about these students. So that was really neat to see these light bulbs going off for our first grade friends, I think. And then to have the teacher candidates, get to the end of the semester and feel more agentic with literacy teaching, I think is always a joy for me. So, and it was particularly fun because, like Mary Pat said, she got to come out and, visit our seminar afterwards, which is after the teaching time, and just share about Lolly's Place so that our teacher candidates can see that there are different paths in the education world that they may want to take. So that was really cool.
Yeah, but we need them as teachers, classroom teachers, I'm telling you. That is awesome. Did you take pictures of the beautiful boards?
Yes, I did, and
Oh,
I would be happy to share a few. I just need to make sure that the students' names aren't
yeah, yeah.
visible or
I'm just
anonymized.
curious.
But yes, I'd be happy to share those.
That sounds great. That sounds great. All right. Dan, what are you up to? What's something good happening at
Something good
TFA?
happening. So I mean, I've spoken before. I'm Dan. I'm at Teach for America, and we run the Ignite Tutoring Fellowship here in St. Louis, which is a high dosage tutoring program. We partner with 8 different schools. Something I'm excited about, though, which is related to Ignite but not the same, is we are recruiting for core members for the fall of 26. So we're recruiting to bring the Teach for America core here to St. Louis. And one of our matriculated core members, so someone who just got their offer to join us here in St. Louis and accepted her offer, is an Ignite fellow. So this is kind of
Oh,
part of the strategy for us with Ignite is like we're connecting college students to our schools and we're offering this tutoring support. But we do also see it as an avenue to expose them to like, hey, like here's what a micro dose of teaching and learning can look like with a small group of students. Would you consider being a core member? And so it was really exciting to have someone who she had not tutored in St. Louis, but that's because we're a virtual program, and so she can tutor
right.
everywhere. But she's coming to St. Louis now as a teacher for the fall, and she has experience doing Ignite, which is very exciting. And so that's kind of we talk about having a flywheel. Like we feel like the flywheel is spinning that way, where like someone gets engaged with Ignite tutoring, and then they consider maybe joining the Teach for America program. And once we get them here in St. Louis, we'll find great ways to keep them engaged here. So
I
yeah.
love how tutoring is leading to, I like that flywheel thing, what Becky's doing, what Dan's doing, getting people in there and feeling confident that they can teach a child to read, but not being overwhelmed with a whole classroom from the get-go. Do you know where your core members what school districts they'll be placed in? Or is that,
Not yet. We have letters of intent signed with 5 different partners but we're still kind of actively negotiating some of the agreements.
oh,
But it'll all be either like City of St. Louis and near North County, so it would overlap with our same footprint that we work with here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's
Dan,
great.
this is
Go
news
ahead,
to
Joe.
me. So you're placing teachers again? Is this
Yep.
late
So
breaking, or have I just been out of the
we're
loop?
recruiting and bringing in a fall 2026 core here in St. Louis. We've got some people in the door, Joe. Joe, read your alumni emails. Come on, man. What are you doing? You're killing it.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I should have gone to the holiday party last week. But sorry, I was at my second K-pop Demon Hunter themed birthday party of the year instead. So priorities.
Family. Joe, what's going on at the library? Oh,
We
besides that
oh,
awesome flyer that you made, that brochure,
yeah,
the
I was going to
family.
share about that if I could, because a
Oh,
lot of the people, Becky and Robin, gave me some really awesome feedback. Well, and you, Lisa. Um, of course. So, we've really been trying to lean in this year to that idea of the public library, kind of bridging the gap between school and caregivers, and kind of, us not being the literacy experts, but being kind of trusted navigators who can help caregivers and parents who are feeling overwhelmed or want to be doing more. So that's the lane we're seeking to occupy. So I'll do. Let's see if it'll let me share my screen. I don't know if I. Yeah, here we go. So we have this cool booklet that we have in all of our locations now. If any of you want it for your families, just send me an email. Is it showing up?
yep. Looks
Okay,
good.
so it's kind of weird to read because it's a bifold, so it doesn't come across as a PDF. But this is meant to be, it's a pretty meaty resource. It's more
Hmm.
than just read to your kid, which is the goal, for those parents who are interested. Like, so what's really happening? We wanted to go more in depth. I can send this out via email. I don't. I'm sure this is not super helpful to read, and I don't see the thing to stop sharing now.
Oh,
But uh,
wait, let's see
wait,
if I can
where's the prompt to
allow
stop?
multiples to
Oh,
share.
here, hold on. I had to
Repl
scroll over
I,
it. There we go. You know what it is? It was a green box and it was against the green background of the booklet. So we're
oh,
here.
there you
Got
go.
it.
Yeah,
Um,
got it, got it.
so anyway, we wanted to put that together just to because we have people come into the library all the time saying, "Hey, my kid's in first grade. What should they be doing right now? What kind of books should I be reading? All of those things." So to help them with some of those common things. So that I was really excited to get going. I'm sure we'll learn things and revise it in the next print run, but it's cool to have it out in the world. And then a related thing, we started a series of workshops this fall that has the same name, This Family Reads. And it's for caregivers to attend with their kids, which I think is pretty cool. So I did my first few in November. I'm actually going to present at Man Elementary on Thursday at their literacy night. So again, the goal of it is to get more in depth of like provide some of those science of reading type things, brain development pieces, but in a way that is actionable and not overwhelming for caregivers. And that's kind of, we're seeking to be empowering, not preachy about how they can be helping their kids. I would say it was a lot of fun doing the first couple. Feedback was super positive, but I feel like the parents who signed up for those first ones were the ones that were probably doing most of that stuff already anyway. It was so that it felt a little bit like preaching to the choir with some of them, which I mean, that's important too. If they had questions and things, I was happy to support them. But I think the goal for the spring will be how are we getting to and engaging with those parents who aren't signing up for that library workshop. So my ask, if any of you all, I mean, in the city, if you have partner sites or schools, I'm talking to the SLPS Foundation, like we also definitely want to like go on the road with this and, present it in other contexts. So that's something I would be happy and excited to do.
Well, the
Oh,
summer camps
yeah.
have asked for things like this.
Oh, I was just saying, summer camps we could get you
Yeah.
into. And then I'm looking at Jen Burris thinking, maybe Bridge to Hope would want to have you. They have their family, family events.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Um,
would love to. I think I've met Crystal before, but haven't been able to like fully connect the dots always with
right. She'd be
Rachel. So,
totally up for that. Right,
okay.
Jen? Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Joe.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's exciting stuff, and I do want to shout out those people who helped out with this because it is of the like it's trying to condense those things into something that's concise. Was version one of this document was 14 pages, so we got it down
oh
to
my
four.
God.
Nobody was going to read a 14-page booklet, so that's I
No,
don't even. I'm worried about people reading a 3-page one, but it was it's a lot more concise. So.
we got to try it though.
Yeah.
Got to
And then
try it.
other tutoring news of we just wrapped up our kind of fall session with America Reads, and we're going to be doing that in the spring. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Jen, what are you up to?
Um, well, I'm in process of getting next semester prepped, so I've got like volunteers coming to one of like our storage area to pick up supplies and things for next semester and trade things out. And then yes, always recruiting and always onboarding. So that's a constant thing that I do. And then I'm working, this is more of I haven't even told you this, Lisa. Working with Black Men Read, I think officially, to get their tutors for next semester trained and supplied. So we met last week and I'm putting together training and getting materials ordered and all of that kind of thing. And then I'll go in and help provide some assessments and coaching for some of their volunteers. So excited about that. That's a fun, I'm excited about that. It's a fun thing for me to do. So yeah, but there's obviously work
Wonderful.
involved with that I'm also kind of working on too. So lots of great things.
I haven't talked to Keon in a couple weeks, but uh, 63106, the
Yeah.
urban strategies in 63106 got an opportunity zone grant, and they did an analysis, and they said that of the 3,000 kids in 63106, they attend 156 different schools, which I just boggles me. And so when we started talking about tutoring, it didn't make sense to have it in the school. They needed it in their housing units, in their after school. And so Black Men Read applied to do that. And I'm just wondering, you don't know if he got that or not, do you?
I mean, I'm assuming based on the conversation I had with them, they didn't come out and say that, but I'm assuming that
All right, I'm gonna
there's,
go.
there's
I'm
been
gonna
funding. You probably
awesome.
are in a better position to act, just be more
I
direct
will
with that
ask.
question than I
I'm
will
just
ask.
nosy. Oh, all righty. And we have, wait, it's Corey. Introduce yourself. You're muted.
Can you hear me now? Wonderful. So I'm Corey. I work for St. Louis Public Library as um, a program coordinator, and tutoring services falls under my job description. So Joe pretty much said everything really that we have going on. We're still kind of figuring out the best setup for our tutoring, so it's still evolving and still changing a little bit, but we're always getting more and more interest, and we're just right now we're just happy to be able to do it and um, help those who are coming currently. So um, we don't have everything set for the spring yet, but I should hopefully have that up and ready to market by next week.
To
So,
recruit tutors or to
so
recruit
we
families or both?
so to be able to register, that will hopefully be up by next week, and then flyers and such will come shortly after that to be more widespread. So that'll start. What did we settled on January 28th, I think, whatever that Saturday is.
The 24th. And
24th. Okay.
Lisa, we've got the tutors, so this will just be recruit
Ah, oh, right.
participants.
You have the tutors from
Yeah.
Y Reads
Yeah.
Mhm.
from Laura. Okay. So it's just recruiting the fan. Got it. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
So that tutoring services for us is second grade through fourth grade.
Wonderful.
Yep.
I got two more here. Caroline, you want to introduce yourself? And then Jen here behind me.
Yeah, sorry that I'm late. I've come in from the sprint to the end of the year meeting thing. Um, but yeah, we are loving working with St. Louis Public Library. So that goes through our Campus Y and our America Reads program. We do one-on-one tutoring for kids and adults, of course, through I Read and Literacy Council, including, I haven't talked as much about this here. We have English language learning drop-in class on Tuesday nights at the Weber Road Library. So that's a great way for people to drop in, get some conversation practice, and get connected with the Y. Um, our Jefferson County Y is looking into working with Costco. They have a Reading Buddies program. So it's just kind of, getting somebody to read with or two. I think St. Louis Public Library, you guys have Reading Buddies, don't you? Or is that the county? Somebody has a Reading Buddies.
County. St. Louis.
County. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Costco does it and it's their staff members who come out. So,
Costco, are you saying that right?
yep.
Costco, the big,
Costco.
okay.
Yeah, like the big box store. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they reached out to the Jefferson County Y. So they're kind of exploring trying that. And then we're just really working on embedding reading in different things. So right now the thing that all our branches are doing are pancakes with the Grinch or Santa. And so we're embedding some story time with Santa and some just things about being intentional at the Holly Jolly event at the Bear Y. You guys provided books that were given out on Sunday. And Ready Readers was there. So just trying to be intentional as we're providing intervention support, also of just making reading part of our healthy habits all the time.
It's fantastic. Um, that's great. I a company called Copeland. It's a spin-off of Emerson. Called me. They're actually on the Emerson campus in Ferg Floor, and they wanted to get their engineers to tutor. And so they decided they want to go with Oasis. And so that's been a fun little connection to make too. So yeah, let's keep connecting. Who knew Costco would do this?
It
Keep us
was new for
informed.
me. I got an email, I think on Friday about it, but yeah, I think the more different options we can have for our different branches too. We'd love for everybody in the world to do intervention reading tutoring, but we know that's not going to be the case. And so how do we keep moving up the
Getting
stream and
more
getting people earlier and doing, yeah, just more different entry points for people.
wonderful. Christine, you got anything to share?
I don't really have anything big to share. I mean, we're organizing stuff from the biannual literacy forum and bright spots, and we'll get kind of things updated for the website. But yeah, and
Yeah.
trying to get some more camps that we can partner with for the
Yeah.
summer.
And
And we
it-
can have more tutors embedded, but I don't know that I have anything new right now.
yeah, we're just trying to find where all the children are in the summer to get to them. I'm sure everybody here is saying the same thing. Well, I am really excited about this meeting because we have Robin Boda and Michelle Yepes, our members, are going to be talking about speech to print approach to literacy. Did I say that correctly? This is all going to be new to me, but I'm excited to learn. So, Robin, take it away.
Okay, let me share my screen. So another term for speech to print is structured linguistic literacy. I've only been doing this for 3.5 years, so I am relatively new to it, but I've seen a huge uptick in our student scores, and more importantly, they feel like they can access authentic text sooner. So they're not stuck in CVC land, consonant, vowel, consonant land, or stuck in decodables forever. They can move more quickly. So speech to print is not new. It's been around for a while. These are the different programs. There's a bunch more, but these are the primary programs here that you can see. They stem from two kind of primary branches coming from speech and language literacy and Montessori approaches. And then it branches off from there and it goes in a lot of different directions. So I primarily use Evely, but I will tell you right up front that I probably will never be a one curriculum girl ever again in my life because every curriculum I've ever used, and there are many, over 15 curriculums I have used and implemented with fidelity. And every curriculum says that. They want you to implement with fidelity. Don't use anything else. And that doesn't work for every learner. And so I'm kind of I'm giving this to you as this is one method. It's not not the sure shot. I'm seeing really good results anecdotally, but I just want you to know that I'm never gonna I'm gonna show you what speech to print looks like wholeheartedly, but there's lots of different ways to read, and we have to use whatever works for the student in front of us. So the goal for all of us is efficient, effective instruction, reducing the amount of time tutoring is needed. If it can't be efficient and effective, we're kind of spinning our wheels. And this was where I was having so many students that were just making a little bit of progress, but not a lot. They're not getting to grade level. So it's integrated instruction, immediate feedback, no spelling, no syllable rules, no mastery required. It's all interleaved practice. That means you're going to see it again and again and again. And yeah, so it's quite a bit different than UFly, but UFly is one of the ones that is interleaved as well. We want to move to authentic text very quickly, not just decodables. We want to limit the teacher voice. So we're giving the student more opportunity to practice actual reading and also reducing the cognitive load for students. So in a tutoring session, I'm talking way too much right now, right? For you all, like if I know that you're teachers, you can handle it, but we're really trying to reduce that and help the student be the most successful the most quickly. So we start with sounds. We don't use letter names except for alphabet writing. This is kind of the speech sounds available in our English or American English, right? And depending on what curriculum you follow, there could be anywhere from 40 to 46 sounds. And some people combined O and R and some people don't. There's variations like that, but basically there's that many sounds. Now those sounds are represented by symbols on a page from left to right. We all know that. A sound can be spelled by 1 to 4 letters, just one sound. One sound can be spelled in multiple ways. One spelling can also represent different sounds. Okay, you're going to see how this kind of plays out as I show you. The skills that we really try to focus on are segmenting, blending, manipulating sounds in one syllable, and then manipulating sounds syllable by syllable. So in order for us, for Hope Education, to make this shift to speech to print, we've encountered these inconvenient shifts for teachers over and over and over. They're convenient for the learners, but they're inconvenient for us who know something about teaching reading, and we want to give them everything we can. So we stop using alphabet names when we're teaching spelling, writing, and decoding. This is what I mean by that. So if you say tea, like I want a glass of tea after, or a cup of tea after dinner, to E, right? There's two sounds there. But when we say the letter name T, it gets confused with the word T, but more importantly, it gets confused with the sounds that are in the word. And so it stops that the letter names, like if you say N, in lots and lots and lots of words, we hear those sounds, and kids will just write an N. Well, that's not helping them out, right? It's not doing them any favors. So we remove that barrier to entry in that way. We stop teaching and applying syllable division rules, syllable types, consonant blends, because guess what? A lot of syllable division rules just don't work some of the time. They're, 40 to 60% reliable, these different kinds of rules that we put in place. And, for kids that are just learning, it's a lot, especially for dyslexic learners, it's a lot of cognitive load. For older students who've fallen through the cracks, it's a big cognitive load. So by removing that, it really helps speed up the game. We stop encouraging contextual clues. I think all of us have stopped doing that because it does promote guessing. We don't interrupt a lesson mid-sentence or mid-paragraph. We correct for a sound immediately, but we try not to interfere with their processing. You guys will have chances to ask questions, so write them down, and I will be happy to go back to any or all of this. These are the components that I have selected as the primary. Now, my dream would be to create a speech to print method that would be free to anybody who wants to access it, because every one of these curriculums has this huge barrier to entry with training, with certification, and I want quality results, but we got to do it faster. And that is a big obstacle that I keep hitting. So I know that that's true. So I would love to create that. These are after having scoured multiple curriculums, these are the primary ones that surface to the top. Phoneme manipulation, identification of sounds inside of words, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways we can rotate those activities. Passage reading and summary writing. Some of those are very similar. So the way this looks, here's an example of phoneme manipulation. So say the word trip. Trip. Okay. Say the sounds in trip. It. So trip. Now say trip without the p. Trip. Okay. Now say trip without the t. Rip. Now say trip without the It. So we're doing it all by sound. We're not looking at letters, but I do like to attach letters when I'm doing more extensive phonemic awareness, like say hand. Kids can say hand, then they write it on their board, and all I do is use a word chain to change up a sound. Okay, they have hand spelled on their board, and then they change the h to s. So they erase the h, and they put in the sand. Then change the a to e, change the s to b, and so on. So that's phoneme manipulation. That's kind of the way we do it. The next skill that we would do, there's multiple different ways we can identify sounds in words. We can either use a word sort, separate the sounds, and that's just the activity, that's what I'm calling it. Identifying the sounds in words by spelling, okay? So this is what those would look like. So first off, we're going to do a little word sort here. So if you look here, so these are different ways we can spell E. Normally, I wouldn't have this all filled out. I would do it with the student, but to speed things up for us, so we don't take all day, I wanted to kind of give you a heads up. So normally what I would do is write down this word. There would be nothing here, and there would be nothing here. I would write down this word and have them figure it out. Eat, meet, meet. Like, it's nice to meet you. Now tell me the letter, how many letters are spelling E in that word? Instead of saying what letters are spelling E, that sound, I'm asking them, tell me how many letters. 2. Okay, write them on top and say E, E. Okay. Now, what letters are spelling E in team? E, and so on. E, chief. You're just looking for that E sound in each of these words. Funny, E, E, okay? Now we play detective after they get this first part down. They're writing all of this and they're saying it as they write. So every time they say T, they're writing the T. They say E, they're writing the E. They say they're writing the and so on, okay? So here we go. Here's a word. You tell me, you can show me by your fingers, where should this go? Under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Awesome, Caroline, for the win. Number 3 is correct. So we're going to put brief under number 3, and then they're going to say it as they write it. B-er-e, brief. And then you give them another one. Which category is that going under? Number 4, baby. So say the sounds as you write. B-a, B-e. Every single time they write a word, they're saying the sounds that they write. Every single time they read a word that they don't know, if they stumble over it, they're saying the sounds as they read. Okay, and so on. I mean, we could go on forever. You know the drill here. So where's this one going to go? Number 1. So say your sounds. E. That's the first one. It's a word sort activity. The second one is where we separate sounds. So I'm going to trade out boards so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically, I usually tell them what the word is here. This word says reveal. They say it, reveal. We talk about what it means very briefly, less than a minute. Okay, tell me the sounds that you hear in the word reveal. Then we count together. R, E, V, E, O. Often I have them close their eyes or cover it up. So they're not looking at the letters, they're just counting the sounds that they hear. So there were 5 sounds in that. So a lot of times I'll have them write the number 5, and then I have them separate the sounds. Okay, that's what we're doing in this activity. So R, E, V, E, O, reveal. If they get stuck partway through, sometimes I will break it up over syllables, like say the word teachable. Teachable. Tell me the sounds in teach. E. Ch. Tell me the sounds in a bowl. A, b, o. How many sounds total? Yes, 6. So, and then we're going to separate it. E, ch, a, b, o. Unfortunately, look at that word. Okay, how many sounds do you hear in the word unfortunately? N. I'm not saying these sounds. The student is saying these sounds, just so you know. I'm not teaching it. I'm letting them discover it and they say the sounds. If they get stuck, I just back it up and say, how many sounds in un? N. How many sounds in for? O, How many sounds in chin? Ch, I, n. How many sounds in it? I, t. How many sounds in li? L, e. That was 12 sounds altogether. And then slowly, they're writing it on their board. They're saying it. They're separating it. N, un. Because guess what? Language was written down. Why? For our speech. So making that connection and removing the obstacle of U, N, F, O, R, we're removing that, right? We're just saying the sound. For. How many sounds in for? F, O, Some curriculums put that together. UFly does. Other ones do. Chin, ch, I, n, I, t, l, e. Unfortunately. This even works with student names. Like a lot of times we'll see students with names like this, and we think, what? Why did they spell it like that, right? But whatever, they did, right? So let's figure it out. What are the sounds? Sh, m, I, This could also be Shamia, right? But here it's from a student I had, Shamaya. So just helping them to hear the sounds and associate the graphemes with it. The next thing is where we spell, right? We just actually spell. So today we're going to read a little passage about basketball. So tell me the big sounds or the syllables in basketball. Bass, kit, ball. Tell me the sounds in bass. B, a. Tell me the sounds in kit. K, I. Tell me the sounds in ball. B, a, o. You'll notice that I'm not saying ket because we don't usually say basket. I'm not, I'm saying actually the sound that I make when I say that word. Same thing in chin, unfortunately. Okay, so here we go, basketball. And then the students will figure out. So they might say b, ass. They might say k, I, t, b, a. Most kids know this. Well, so we go back through and I will erase this on their board and I'll say, this is your k. And they write it down, k. And then they circle it up and they draw one line under it to help remind them. This is a one-letter spelling for k. This is your I. I. I put it up on their board. They write it on the line. I. Circle it up. How many letters are making that sound? Just one. And then we erase the letters. We leave the spelling skeleton, if you want to call it that. That's what we call it in Emily. And then they try again, saying their sounds the whole way through. And then once they get it complete, they erase it, they write it all together like they'd read it in a book. And we could do other ones, but that's kind of gives you the feel for it. Whoops.
Fascinating.
So just a couple more things I want to show you. So then we would have like a sample reading passage. I usually try to pick some multi-syllable words from the reading passage that will go into some of these exercises. I didn't do a great job of doing that today, but you get the idea. So why do basketball hoops have backboards? They read through this whole thing. And then after they read it, then we talk about it. What does it mean? What sentence would you like to write? And then I usually nudge the students toward more difficult language. So I try to nudge the students toward multi-syllable words whenever possible. So I might have them write a gist sentence like this. Just a summary of what they just read. Basketball backboards help players score points. Something super simple, but it's kind of summarizing what we just read. And then it's also giving them practice. And again, when they're writing whole sentences, guess what they're doing? They're saying every single sound as they write. So that's kind of the deal. I'll stop sharing.
Do you read the reading passage, right?
Oh, they read it.
They read it.
Slowly, sound by sound. And I usually do 3 reads on it. So I do 1 paragraph at a time. They read it struggling through it, like 1 paragraph. Or if they're really, really struggling, they might just read 1 sentence and then I stop them. And then I read the sentence as I'm using my pencil and they're using their finger under. And then I read it and then they read it back. So it's reinforcing it. And our kids are making so much better progress doing it this way than they were sticking in decodables. And unfortunately, I loved UFly, but a lot of my tutors that I had trained in it were requiring mastery before moving them on. And I didn't have a good handle on, no, you can't do that. You have to move on no matter what, because otherwise you're not getting to grade level. And I had tutors that really didn't want to move into digraphs until they had fully sufficiently mastered the basic code and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, UFly is awesome if it is taught at the pace that it's intended. Um, but yeah, but there are some hiccups with it. Like some of the rules for some of the kids really just don't stick. It's too hard for them to hang on to. So yeah. Michelle, I think you're gonna take it away.
All right, so very good. I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see. Okay, can you see? I don't know if it's going to work for me right. Can you see that about Lip Letterland?
Yeah, it's a little small.
Is it too small? Here we go. All right, how about that?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, I didn't know if it showed up um, as a full screen or not. But in any case, so what Now Programs and Lip Letterland does is a little bit of the underlying skills that are needed before even what Evely talks about. So the program was developed it's kind of through that Linda Bell LIPS idea where you feel the sounds in your mouth. So there's not only just what you're hearing, what you're seeing, when speech is developing from the time that you're a baby on, inadvertently, and a lot of people don't realize it, but you're really feeling a lot of what those sounds, how that sound production is made in the mouth. And so building on those skills as you're going into pre-literacy, ages 3 through 6, to connect to that sound from what you feel in the mouth to what you hear and what you see from letters to sounds and that type of thing is really a fundamental piece. Some people, their brains just make that connection and everything is good. As you kind of go down that literacy chain to those who are dyslexic, you don't necessarily feel those sounds in the mouth as much. So you end up with B and D confusion because you're not really certain, okay, which one is a B and which one is a D and, that type of thing. And what Lip Letterland does, it's an app. It's available on the Google Play and the App Store. It walks you through those beginning sounds before you add in letters and make that connection so that way you're solid on what that sound looks like, feels like before you're actually writing it, that type of thing. So Lip Letterland, early child phonics, science of reading. They have 25 to 30 years of experience in watching brain chemistry of how it works. There's interactive multisensory gameplay. It is designed actually to be done with a tutor, or a parent or a peer. So that way, when you're going through the program, you're doing it with somebody. So you're seeing, okay, what is my mouth doing? What is that? I'm going to show you, or hopefully this will work, just a little bit of a demo. So if I can stop sharing here and go to, let's see.
I don't think we can hear it.
Oh, you can't?
You
Let's
may
see.
have to, what is that trick they always tell me? Um,
I'll tell you, if you go to your audio, next to your the little microphone.
Let's see.
Actually, if you go to share screen,
Uh-huh.
That's
But before you share the screen, so you're sharing a screen right now, so stop share. Before you get to share screen, you can click share sound.
Okay, so let me try that. Ah, here we go. Share sound.
We need a name for the sound E. Since your mouth smiles, do we call it smile sound? Or open sound? Great job! E is a smile sound because our mouth smiles.
Okay, you heard it that time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now let me show you what happens when you go far enough in the program, then they start to add letters. So let me show you a letter one. Oop, it doesn't like that. Let's see.
This is the letter O. O makes the sound for the letter O. Is the mouth smiling? Or is the mouth big and open? You're right. Your mouth is big and open when saying the letter O. Sound.
So with these, there's enough repetition and it goes at a pace, for pre-K to, probably kindergarten, first grade. Second grade's probably a stretch. They think it's, too babyish. But, it's something that, is accessible at $6.99 a month. Or you can buy a year's worth, and this is up to 4 students per license. For the year's worth is $50, or if you've got an education discount, it's $25, for an iPad. But it gives you an opportunity to have something for tutors to be able to use, to teach that speech to print, kind of model before getting into doing an EBLI or something like that. But
So, Michelle,
Mhm.
is it confusing at all for a kid to say this is a letter O, pronounce it ah, or is that not a non-issue?
I think that's one piece of it. So they may have O as O somewhere, but then they may
That's
say,
true.
okay, well, O also may say ah,
Ah,
and
okay.
that's just the one that they happen to pick for, the demo. But it's I think it's, all of the different sounds that O can make. I do know, speaking of a parent of somebody with dyslexia, my son, that really getting that thought process of what's going on in the mouth is really important and a missing piece for them. Because my son went through Barton Reading and Spelling and Spire and all of this kind of stuff. He was 15 years old and spelling was horrible. He did 1 month of the Now program, which starts with, those things I was showing you on Lip Letter Land. And within a month, he's like, Mom, I finally know what it means to sound out a word, because it was not clicking. All of the rules, all of the things, so if you've got kids that, you're tutoring and they're just not picking it up, it's probably, what they're seeing and hearing and connecting to the mouth. That's what makes the difference. So yeah. Any questions about that?
I realize I'm recording this. May I share, Robin and Michelle? Can I share what you taught us to the whole group? The video? Awesome. And send me the slides too, and I can make sure everybody has those. Does anybody have a question? I know we're coming up on time. I would like to, oh, I didn't even bring it up here. Well, you guys probably have the agenda in front of you. I wanted to just make a few announcements here. Uh, One, we're in the process now of, we took a step back, now a step forward to hiring somebody to really run the STL Tutoring Collaborative. So you got an email from me 15 minutes before this meeting with 5 potential candidates. And if you have an extra 2 minutes, ha ha, I know nobody does, take a look and tell me what you think, because I'd love your input. Um, I will send out a schedule for our 2026 meetings, and I think I'm just going to keep it to the second Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. With the hopes that people, will start moving their schedules around. I know it's a really hard time for those who do direct tutoring, like Robin, but hopefully we can. If does anybody have any concerns about the date and time? Okay. And if we're ever missing anybody here in this group, give me a shout out. Really appreciate Becky coming. Becky, if you want to be invited forthcoming and want to be added to the roster, I'm happy to do that. Just give me a shout. Um, And then our next meeting, hopefully, we'll be introducing our new STL tutoring associate director for Turn the Page STL. And we need to finalize our measurable outputs. We need to talk about other professional development. And I have been in conversation, Joe, about creating a blueprint for tutoring with Allie Seacoat. So yeah, so and then we need to get into recruiting more volunteers for you, or recruiting money to pay tutors. Whatever your needs are, we need to expand those needs. And I have no idea why this Zoom thing keeps coming in and out.
I think that's just because you're going in and out of frame.
I keep expecting Christine to say something dramatic when it zooms in on her.
Oh, isn't that weird? So if I go like
Very
that,
dramatic zoom in.
There you go.
I think
oh,
that's what it's doing.
I'm crazy. And eventually we'll get to that shared data piece about how we can share our data across. Um, Becky, there's has been at the last meeting, there was some people still wanted to know if they could take UFly training. So
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to ask about that. So, I did reach out to UFly, and I'm curious from this group, or just kind of a sense of what the need is for, or the interest is in taking a UFly training. And then just wanted to share, you know, from a budget perspective, UFly charges $6,000 for the session. So, and UMSL has offered it twice now. And so I did reach out to them and asked if there was any wiggle room on that price, because that full price is not in the budget this year. But then also thought, well, if there was enough interest, if there was another organization that wanted to cost share, perhaps we could do something like that. So just wanted to throw out a couple of thoughts and questions about UFly, but the ball is rolling and I can keep you posted. But I guess the first question is there enough people for to make a healthy number for the training?
it seemed to be at the last meeting that there were a healthy number. Could we also, and I guess it's the idea of how can I use UFly to teach my tutors to use UFly is the goal here. Um, Could we also invite teachers? Um, we don't have to necessarily keep it to this group.
Yeah, and we have
Since,
in the past.
mhm. And that was really well attended for Saturdays, for 2 Saturdays. That was crazy
Mm-hmm.
attendance.
Yeah,
So
50 plus people.
yeah.
Hmm.
And Becky, I will definitely be in touch about cost sharing.
Great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll do a, do they have a limit of the number of people they will train on Zoom virtually?
She hasn't mentioned that. We've worked with Talia a few times now, and she's been very responsive to what our, what the group wants, and she has not put any cap on it. So that has been nice. I have said it's part of our tutoring network, so that is sufficiently broad, I think.
Well, I didn't know it cost so much, so
Yeah,
we'll get the
yeah,
money.
yeah.
We'll get
It
the
is, and I'm
money.
curious to hear what they will say about if there's any wiggle room on that for return customers.
Keep me posted.
Yeah, I will.
Anybody else? Wow, we only went 1 minute over. Not too bad. Um, Guys, I will be in touch. Please look at those resumes, accept those calendar invites, and have a wonderful holiday season. Stay healthy, get some rest, get some warmth. Nobody here's going someplace warm, are they? So I can be jealous? No, no. Well, um, bye.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Happy holidays.
You in on me again.